Hey truth seekers, the Germinator here, beaming into Kyle's wild and wacky world. Today, we're cracking open the secret handbook of real-life detectives. Not the ones in movies, but the investigative journalists who dig for truths that some powerful people would rather keep buried forever. Let's get into it.
You know that feeling, right? When you see something or hear something, and a little voice in the back of your head just goes, that doesn't add up. For most of us, it's just a passing thought. But for an investigative journalist, that little gut feeling, that's the spark. It's the tiny flicker that can ignite a massive search for the truth. Now, let's be super clear. This isn't about chasing celebrity gossip or trying to score political points. Investigative journalism has a very specific and a very important mission: to find facts that serve the public interest. We're talking about things that protect our rights, our health, our money, basically the stuff that really matters. So, how does one of these epic investigations even start? It's almost never a single aha moment. It's way more interesting than that. Let's pull back the curtain and see how a case file actually lands on a truth detective's desk in the first place. A case can literally start anywhere. It could be that gut feeling we talked about, a journalist's intuition that, say, one little scandal is actually part of a massive systemic cover-up. Or it could be something as simple as just noticing an official driving a ridiculously fancy car that their salary could never pay for. It could be a secret tip, a clue buried in another news story. It all starts with paying attention.
And check this out. This is a brilliant example of that in action. A blogger in China just started noticing that in official photos, a lot of government officials were wearing these super high-end luxury watches. They just used a little common sense, did the math, and realized there's no way their salaries could cover that bling. That one simple observation sparked a massive investigation into corruption. Okay, so you've got your hunch, the case is officially open. Now it's time to hit the pavement, gather some clues, and start talking to people. But here's the thing. As any good detective will tell you, not all sources are created equal.
And this distinction right here is absolutely crucial. A primary source is someone who was there. They saw it with their own eyes. They were a direct participant. Or it's an original document. A secondary source, on the other hand, heard the story from someone else. You always want to talk to the person who actually saw the event, not the person who just heard about it from their cousin's friend.
And this is where it gets really intense. I mean, just imagine you know something huge, proof of major corruption or a dangerous crime. But speaking up could get you fired. It could threaten your family. It could literally put your life in danger. People are often terrified to come forward, and you know what? They have very, very good reasons to be.
This is exactly why protecting sources is the bedrock of this whole thing. It's not just a nice idea, it's a core ethical duty. When a journalist gives their word that they'll keep a source's identity secret, they're creating this sacred bond of trust. That trust is what allows the most important and often the most dangerous information to finally see the light of day. Every great detective needs a toolkit, right? Well, for the modern journalist, it goes way beyond a magnifying glass and a notepad. We're talking about some seriously wild and wacky gear and digital techniques that can uncover secrets like never before. Let's be real, sometimes the only way to prove that something bad is happening is to actually catch it in the act. Going undercover with hidden cameras and recording gear, it's one of the most powerful and, one of the most controversial tools in the detective's arsenal. It's risky, but man, it can deliver some undeniable proof.
But hold on, you can't just go full-on secret agent whenever you want. There's a strict ethical rulebook you gotta follow. The story has to be of massive public interest. It has to be the absolute last resort, meaning you've tried every other possible way to get the story and failed. And you can't pretend to be someone like a cop or a doctor. Most important of all, you cannot entrap someone. You can't trick them into committing a crime they weren't already planning to commit.
But it's not all about hidden cameras and secret meetings in parking garages. Nowadays, maybe the most powerful investigative tool on the planet is the one you're using right now, the internet. You can crack a case wide open without ever leaving your desk.
And this right here is digital sleuthing at its absolute finest. It's just brilliant. When a horrific video of soldiers committing a crime surfaced, officials flat out denied it. So what did the BBC team do? They used satellite images to find the exact road and buildings in the video, and then, get this, they analyzed the angle of a soldier's shadow to calculate the path of the sun, which allowed them to pinpoint the exact date and time the video was filmed. The digital proof was just unbreakable. Wow.
So a hunch is great. A source is even better. But to really speak truth to power, a detective needs a case that is absolutely 100% bulletproof.
You have to build a mountain of cold, hard proof that nobody, and I mean nobody, can tear down. It all starts with forming a hypothesis, and then asking the right questions. So, let's say you think a new highway is super dangerous. You don't just state that as a fact. You ask, how many accidents have actually happened here? That question leads you to traffic reports. Were there flaws in the engineering? That leads you to technical experts. Did the construction company cut corners? Well, that question leads you to insiders and former employees. See, every question points you toward a new piece of evidence.
And sometimes, the proof doesn't come in a neat little folder. Sometimes it comes as a digital tsunami. The Panama Papers was one of the biggest data leaks in history, and it exposed exactly how some of the world's richest and most powerful people hide their money in secret offshore accounts.
The scale of this was just mind-blowing. We're talking more than 11.5 million secret documents. Let that sink in. No one journalist could ever go through all that. It took a global team of hundreds of reporters, all working together for months, just to sift through the data, connect the dots, and follow the money.
So, after all the digging, the secret sources, the crazy digital sleuthing, the data crunching, why? Why does any of it matter? What's the whole point of taking all these incredible risks?
Because this work, it actually changes the world. It gives a voice to people who have been silenced or ignored. It shines a bright light into the darkest corners of power. These investigations have forced governments to change corrupt laws. They've reopened murder cases like the death truck tragedy. They've exposed horrific abuse in care homes, which led to real, meaningful reform. This is what accountability looks like in action.
So there you have it. The secret handbook is open. The amazing thing is, the tools of the truth detective are more accessible now than ever before. So keep your eyes open, stay curious, and never ever stop questioning the world around you. You just never know what truths are out there waiting for you to find them. This is the Germinator signing off.